against the gods. The shadows deep, where realms divide. The gods arise, no place to hide. Ancient powers wake once more. Feel the lightning, hear the roar. A storm unleashed, a rage so bright. With thunder's call, it takes to flight. Volcano spikes till each one falls. With courage fierce and power tall. A hunter forged by Yahweh's light. With courage strong as power calls. The gods will tremble as he brawls. From chaos rise, rise. The gods will face their demise. From chaos rise, rise. The storms will cut through all their lies.
Welcome back to the Chaos Crew. My name is Volt, aka Chuck or Spork. However long you've known me, I am going to be back here tonight. So tonight I'm going to be doing, being that we are a couple days away from Halloween, and DC has released two horror anthology or two horror series. One is going to be DC Horror Presents. It is 4 issues. So don't I believe probably once a week here for the next 2 weeks, most likely, of how they're going to do it. And then also, it looks like on the Black Label side, they have done what's called Batman Full Moon. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to be reading them both tonight. No, I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to commentate on them tonight. That I will probably be doing on Saturday. Because I also am going to be reading Absolute Wonder Woman here on stream on Saturday, and I'll be doing my review. So I will hit all 3 on their reviews on Saturday. But I at least want to give a look at these series here. So we're going to be doing, like I said, we're going to be starting with DC Horror Presents. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this up, and then after this, then at 8 o'clock, we are going to be going over to our friend Celeste, the channel Celeste, Celestium. So if you're on YouTube, we are going to be watching her through my streams here, and also what we're going to be doing is at the same time, we are going to then do some raffling for games. I have 10 games to give away. This is to help push Celeste's channel membership up and mine. So the rules are going to be that you must follow both us on Twitter, and you must follow both of us on Twitch or YouTube. Then the games that I will be giving you, we're going to do a raffle through there. We're going to spin. I'll talk with her more about that then here. We're going to be doing some spinning. So, but yeah, let's get started here. And then hopefully I should get through, maybe get through both of them here by at least 7:45. And then we'll go, we'll take a break for about 15 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes or so. And then we'll come back, and then we'll, jump into Goku's Stuck, and it's going to be a free for all. I'm not sure how many people are signing up. They're going to be getting a lot more VTubers, Christian VTubers, and some other streamers. So yeah. So okay. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to pull first DC Horror Presents number 1. All right. Okay, so we are starting out here. It says, Dollhouse Inn. Love you to pieces. Max, honey, you won't believe it. They had your favorite fig spread at the... Yes. Max, sweetheart. Oh god, Max. No. Of course, then we pan down and body. Great, another DOA. Max, why? Stay back. Leave him alone. Ma'am, he's a goner. No, he needs me. I can help him. I can fix him. We're going to need you to come with us so we can file a report. Or not. Aw, man, I just got this dry cleaned. You'll learn that staying clean in this city is a luxury. Smash! I think you look just fine, but I'm gonna be needing this. Drive. Alright? The toy box. The doll maker's home. We're here. Now, help me with Max and your buddy. Thanks. You're a lifesaver. Slam. Squish. Now, see what I did there? Well, you will. Knock, knock. Daddy! Please, Daddy, you have to help. Max was my whole world. Snap. You're gonna love him, I promise. How long has he been dead? Almost an hour. So we have 30 minutes left. Darn it, Matilda, we barely have any viable organs to work with. That hammer of yours wrecks a lot of vital bits. The most important piece. Slice, squish. Wait, I don't want him to wake up here. Please, Daddy. I just think this may be a bit too much for him. He's very sensitive. You're welcome. We're almost home, baby. We're close. 3, 2, darling. No, no, not here, here. I was finally free, finally free. You think you can break up with me over your dead body? Brunch. So, of course, you, alright. So we are on to the second, comic. Themyscira, third night of the full moon. Great Hera. Oh, Orthea. Our trouble's grown, Donna. This is the third night we found a victim, debased. Diana, who would do such a thing? There must be an intruder on the island, because none of our sisters would be capable of committing such an atrocity. Captain? Our scouts picked up a blood trail. Then let us see where it leads. Okay, go through. Diana, we're approaching your mother's grave. You don't have to. Yes, I do. Something appears to have tampered with her grave. What could this have possibly to do with... Wait, there's something moving inside. Smash, smash. And then, of course, cuts through the body. Mother. Ugh. Donna, pin her arms. Ack. Betrayers. No. This can't be real. What if... Diana, help. Donna, what? Don't let him kill me. Stab. You let your sister die just as you'll let me die. Will you leave her body alone to rot as you did mine? So cold, Diana. I have lain frozen, listening to the sounds of my body decay. To the very symphony of the vermin consuming my flesh, the very flesh that you gave your life, your own mother. And all that time, all I could imagine is you, living, continuing, and saving every other possible thing on this planet, pitiful planet but me. I know what you are, and what you have brought me to my doomed doorway to Tartarus. But I will satisfy your defiled spirit's thirst for vengeance. I will not take your place. Please, die for me, as I have for you. Mother, no. Of course, we see the body. Diana, close the door. Don't leave me again, daughter. Ha 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 ha. Doom. It's over now. She's gone from us again. Donna, I couldn't bear to push her back in. Oh, how endearing. Happy Mother's Day, Princess. I hope you enjoyed your gift from Circe. Ha 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 ha. The end. Alright. Okay, that I don't care about. I will say, though, it's kind of cool seeing that DC's putting the ads back in here. Alright. And, of course, this is the shout-out for John Cassidy, who passed away earlier this year. He was one of the creators on Planetary. Alright. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna switch over to Batman Full Moon. So you know what? Actually, I'm gonna since that actually was a quicker read. Now, how many pages is? Okay, so that's only 39. All right. So going back to let's go back to here. You know, I a lot of times I tend to find that horror. I don't know that horror here a lot of times is sometimes okay in terms of like who does it. I just think that DC. This is something DC really has never really hit good in my opinion. The stories were okay. So nothing to write home about. So if you're a fan of horror, if you're interested, pick up. I tend to not like uh, my genre sometimes crossing like superheroes with horror and stuff like that. Like I that was one of the big reasons why I particularly didn't care for the series earlier this year where they were dealing with the stream world and stuff like that across the DC universe. Night Terrors wasn't really a big fan of that. So um, I would say probably in my opinion this most likely would be a skip for a series. Um, I didn't read it up front yet. But I wanted just something to read on stream because it's Halloween time. I really don't celebrate too much, but I just figured we'd still do something, for something for the stream tonight. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna switch over here. If I had to rate the DC Horror Presents, I would definitely give it a 4 out of 5, 4 or 5 out of 10. It was okay, nothing home to write about. Now I will say that the first story was a little bit better because you are dealing with villains, and the doll maker is a serial killer. So that does fit in the same vein with the horror elements, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that story, but I just I'm not a fan too much of the Wonder Woman, and them defiling, of course, Hippolyta's body like that. You know, just because of Hippolyta and who she is, and Cersei, being that who she is and stuff like that. I mean, it works, but I'm just not a fan of when they defile heroes like Hippolyta, and not a fan of Wonder Woman being in kind of that kind of story. Although I will say it did work in the New 52, that her dealing with the Greek gods and stuff like that, and how petty and stupid they were. So that kind of did work, but at the same time, it wasn't horror the way this was. So I like I said, I would give it a 4 or 5 out of 10. It would be a skip in my opinion. So yeah, let's go ahead. We're gonna go to Batman Full Moon now. Here I will say with Batman Full Moon, I definitely think kind of works a little bit better because Batman is that type of character that can kind of cross over into things. Although I'm not a big fan of it, it still can work because he can let himself out to these horror elements, just like you have with Scarecrow, you have with Toyman, Doll Maker, Professor Pig. So you do have, or the Croc. So you do have these certain elements where the horror genre could work. Because of the villains, the type of villains they are. So now we're, looking at Batman and Full Moon, we're gonna kind of see how this goes. And see if the story works. I'm not sure how many issues this is going to be. I don't know if this is a one shot or so. Let's take a look here. Let's see what they say here. Batman Full Moon. Okay. Okay, so it looks like it is going to be a 4 issue series. Maybe I need to double check. because it does look like it is going to be some horror elements. Um, like I said, now somebody here said that the Batman and the supernatural, Lovecraftian, cosmic horror inspired mysteries are kind of made for each other, which I agree. Again, Batman can lend himself in those different ways because he has those elements. Whereas with Superman and Wonder Woman, I mean, Wonder Woman to a degree you can do it on. I'm not a fan of Superman being that way. Of him being that horror aspect of it. Definitely, Superman to me is hope. Wonder Woman, again, she is that character, that kind of fine line, depending on who you're dealing with. I mean, Cersei is kind of that villain who can wrap up that darkness because Wonder Woman does have kind of a thing. I'm just not a fan of what they did with Hippolyta here in this issue. But so yeah, let's go ahead and real quick, I want to make sure that there's nothing in here. Real quick, give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure there's nothing in here that it kind of is inappropriate. Ooh, I'm liking the art style. Oh, Zatanna looking a little different. A little bit more grittier. The artwork is definitely working for me in this comic. So let me just make sure there's nothing overtly okay. All right. So yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything like that is overtly bad here. That would lend itself to not be read on air. Okay. All right. All right, so Batman Full Moon, book one, and this is done under the Black Label series. So Rodney Barnes is the writer, Steven Subick is the art and cover, Russ Wooten is the letterer, and Francesca Fraccavella and Steve Beach are the variant covers. All right, Mike Perkins and Mike Spicer are other variants. Now I don't know Barnes at all or Subick's art. I don't know Barnes and his writing aspect. I don't know how he is. So this is my first exposure to him, and the same thing with Subick. This is my first exposure to him on the art. I will say, like I do really care. I do like the cover. I think the cover works really well. I like the black and white aesthetic on this. This is really good. All right. The comic is in color. All right. So Gotham Industrial District. Anger wells within the soul, within us all, gifted by a god who enjoys his petty torments. I remember Sister Anne smacking my hand with a ruler, comparing Satan's vengeance to the Lord's wrath. All these years later, I still don't know the difference. But I do know of an emotion akin to anger and yet far more dangerous. Rage. Pure, hot, relentless, like a fire tearing through dry timber. For some, it's a chaotic unexpectation. Mine is focused on a singular aspect of life, humanity. My purpose? Carnage. I was not born with this desire. Rather, it was thrusted upon me in the midst of a war, when my only wish was to be a hero. A wish already naive and eternally hopeless. Downtown Gotham. Master Bruce, I have Miss Zatara on the phone. Perfect timing, Alfred. Patch her through. 4 flakes this month, Bruce. 4 times I got all dialed up just to be sitting at a restaurant by myself. And if anyone should understand, it's you, Zatanna. We're in the same business. Oh, I understand. The unpredictability nature of fighting, crime fighting, etc., etc. That's why I suggested we remain just friends. We can make this work if we work together. All I'm asking for is patience. If I had $1 for every time John asked for patience, I'd be as rich as you are. Can we have a conversation without his name coming up? No guarantees. Drop. Of course, we see that. We'll figure this out. Promise, Sigh. I'm a sucker for the emotionally unavailable men. Gotta bring that up in therapy next week. Thank you. I think. Oof. So, need some help? I could teleport there in the new outfit I just bought for the date and negative. ETA 15 minutes. Whop. Funk. Crack. So what's the deal? Bam, bam. Gun traffickers. Full of German M16Ss. And they made it to, if they made it to the street, Gotham would look like a war zone. Rather a beacon of tranquility you hold in such reverence. Somehow I feel that I haven't been fully forgiven regardless. If it weren't for your patience and understanding, I wouldn't have been able to intercept this shipment. Stop while you're ahead. Fair enough. Buy me a coffee and we'll consider it evening. The cafe opens the door for some early morning fireworks. And then we hear this. Something tells me a late breakfast would be better. Perhaps clarity should be given. I don't hate human. The beast in with me does. The thing I can't control. Taunting the banal man's mind while screaming out for sweet release. Release the fire. Watch it burn. Inhale their fear. That pungent aroma of terror. Once you've savored these moments, kill them all. That's pretty brutal. Definitely pretty brutal. I like the visceral. The art is just very visceral. I like it. I think it works really well. Okay, a moment here, guys. Real quick, just want to check and see. Got any chats? Okay. High-tech joints like this don't just catch fire. Could be on the verge of making a magic pill. Rivals came in, stole the formulas, head for the hills. That's one theory. Thinking this could be an inside job? Wouldn't surprise me. Desperate times we're in. Insurance payout would be sweet. Economies in the crapper, and maybe it's caught up to Bruce Wayne. Suppose it could happen to any of Gotham's finest moguls. Welcome to the party. We got a live one here. Potential artisan, bodies, the whole shebang. I need space. Everybody take 10. Sorry, Todd. Means you too. This is an active fire, Jim. I'm the fire captain, and that makes me the heavy. The bodies make Gordon heavier. The mayor's going to hear about this. Give him my regards. He'll be happy to know you saved the day. This went down fast. My fire support drones were alerted 47 minutes ago. But I would say it's been about an hour since these limbs were ripped from the body. Severed with a blade? Not cut, Jim. Ripped. The tendons, the bones are uneven at the tearing point. Somebody tore them off. Sounds like Wayne had some wild stuff going on here. It's always the case with people top. These are claw marks, like from a large cat. Things in Gotham are never... They're poking and prodding some cat. Cat gets tired of the BS and tears through the staff, evades security. That's the gist of it. Things in Gotham are never that easy. But until I get a look at these samples, I'm just guessing. Click. Unfortunately, a guess from the Cape Crusader thumbs trumps anything detectives say any day. I'm flattered. Master Bruce, I'm intercepting talk of a large creature in Kane Park. You're gonna want to send all your men to the park. You've got something cornered in Kane Park? Well, what the hell is it? A big beast thing. That's all you can give? I'll be there soon. Cavalry's on the way. Always keeping us a step behind. Alright, break's over. Investigators in here. Everybody else, get your asses to Kane Park now. Kane Park. There is no safe haven for me. No hope for a better day. I am a creature cursed to a life of misery. But as they say, misery loves company. You, come out with your hands up. Everybody, in, now. Bam, bam. Oh, no, please God. Mama. Poof. Hold up, Bats. We don't know what that thing is. Whatever it is, it's strong as hell. Stronger than Bane, Killer Croc? Doubt it. And then we see, of course, see some bodies on the ground. Boom, boom, boom. See this body here? Boom. Alright, and then we, of course, see here. Stop it. Now. And we both might get some shut-eye before dawn. Can't say I didn't try. Bloodlust stifles the faint whisper of guilt. Grrr. The heartbeat piercing my senses. Whack, rip. The blood promising to quench my insatiable thirst, satisfying my needs to feed. Oh God, the hunger is so strong, stronger than me. I bear witness to my actions and pray for forgiveness with the full knowledge that it will never come. I assume this isn't the work of the usual cast of characters. You assume correctly. The cells on this one of these bodies contains strains of Lycan DNA. Wolf DNA? A wolf did all that damage? This thing was different. A kind of strength and savagery I never encountered. More bear than wolf. So a wolf-like bear destroyed most of the sophisticated laboratories in the world. That's one smart bear like Smokey, Yogi, or Smoke. I have no idea, Alfred, but you're gonna find out. Perhaps you should take this one slowly. Research. Gonna need another costume. Saying you should rest your injuries would be pointless, wouldn't it? That it would be, Alfred. That it would be. Hey, what's up, James? Welcome, 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 sir. Yep, I'm just doing some comic reading. Not sure if you're into comics or not. I do comic reading. This week the DC some new stuff came out. We have I did DC Horror Presents earlier. Right now I'm just reading Batman Full Moon, and yeah. So I'm not sure if you're a fan of Batman or not, but you know it's Halloween, so you know what appears simple it rarely is so. Someone was confined to the room, the same place the fire started. The question is, who was it? Try replacing the word with who with what? Dr. Kurt Langstrom? Good morning, good morning, Batman. Something told me I'd see you here. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm a huge comic fan too. My favorite two characters are in the Marvel side, it's Namor the Submariner, and on DC side, it is Superman. But I do like Batman and Wonder Woman. Pretty much, I am more of a DC fan, but I also I do enjoy some Marvel stuff. I tend to read more DC though, but I also do read some Image comics and a lot of indie comics. I'm not sure if you ever heard an indie series called Common America. I might be reading that here soon, I might be doing that. So, all right. What brings you to the remnants of Wayne Pharmaceuticals? Putting the pieces together just like you. What do you know? The rays of a full moon shone through the skylight and turned a man into a werewolf. Things I fight in Gotham can surprise me, but they're not fairy tales. Something in your voice betrays your uncertainty. I consulted for Wayne Pharmaceuticals under weapons research. The big man likes his division compartmentalized, so we're one of those departments with no names, only vague directives to weaponize magic and mysticism. One of our test subjects was Christian Talbot. He was an officer in Her Majesty's Armed Forces, led a classified joint operation in Romania. Amidst the furious battle, Talbot was separated from his troops when he fell upon a Lycon. He fired on it with conventional weapons, but it had no effect, and the Lycon attacked. Talbot laid in a Romanian hospital for 2 weeks. His body healed rapidly, and the only remnant being the mark on his palm. Of course, we see a pentagram, and then it says he returned to life and put the past behind him until that past refused to be ignored. And on the run, Talbot was visited a Romani woman who, upon seeing the mark, realized that the curse has been placed upon him. She proceeded to recite the words that no doubt haunted him in his waking hours. When the moon is full, hanging above the earth in all its glory, the blood within the cursed heart will burn. The beast within will escape its human cage, punishing all that crosses its path. Batman emoji, yeah! I was saying earlier, I don't know if you heard me or not. Like I think like one of the things is Batman really lends itself to the whole horror aspect, just because of the type of character he is. I'm not a big fan of Wonder Woman and Superman kind of being in those elements, but yeah. So, all right. So when the moon is full, Christian Talbot becomes a werewolf. He was in here hoping to find a cure. Instead, he destroyed the place. Christian Talbot is no criminal. Murder, mayhem, that makes him public enemy #1 in my book. Why weren't you here last night? I avoid coming out when the moon is full. Vampirism and lycanthropy are distant cousins, you know. I thought you had a handle on Man-Bat. Our inner beasts resist control. We can only reason with them. Any idea where a Talbot may be? He was sitting here. Doubt he'll be back. Got a hunch that I'm sure that said that there's a full moon tonight, so he should not be hard to find. All right. So we go. Potter's Den. Is he dead? Breathing, so he's still kicking. Being something out in the alley cannot be good for one's health. What do you think he's doing here? No idea. But didn't you end up in these parts by accident? Where am I? Potter's Den. Think Skid Row, but worse. I'm Andre. That's Mr. Sam's. Christian Talbot. How did I get here? No idea, son. Me and the boy were looking for cans and scrap metal. Ran across you lying here naked as a jaybird. What's on your hand? Birthmark. Hesitate to ask how you lost your clothes. Long story. A lot of that around these parts. It's a good thing that there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. Yeah. You're gonna need some clothes. I don't have any money. Hate to think where you'd keep a wallet, seeing how as we found you. Sister Weeks that runs the mission will hook you up, takes care of all of us. She'd take me like this. She's seen worse, in case you haven't noticed. This is Bottom. Alright, then this is Zatanna, of course, and then we got Bruce, a werewolf. Langstrom's theory. Some genetic freak that is lost in your head, if you ask me. Common street freak, do you think did that to you? I think not. Werewolves, vampires can all be explained by science. Oh, ye of little faith. Guilty as charged. But it can't be explained by science, it's bull. I pity you types. The ones that can't see past logic or relegate the entire of existence to science. With what we see every day, what people can do to each other. After all that, you'd subscribe to a belief of a higher power that watches it and some play out like some sort of sick puppet show. I subscribe to fate. My very being is grounded in the world that the eyes cannot see. I was born into the Homo Magi race, a unique subset of humans bedeviled with magic abilities. I see power of the dark realm, creatures it conjures, and the physical and spiritual destruction they're capable of. To accept the powers of the dark realm, one must also accept the life. That's where my beliefs lie in, Bruce. In faith and faith alone. Yeesh, all that godly raha, you'd think she'd be boring in the sack, Bruce. Sorry to eavesdrop. Fancy seeing you here, John. Hey, Zatanna. So this is the guy I keep hearing about? Ain't here to cut in on your date. I know what happened at the Wayne Pharmaceuticals, and Gotham's little werewolf problem is about to get worse. I don't know what you're talking about. Your type rarely does, standing on all those stacks of cash, making it tough to see what's happening on the ground. At least you could do is get bats on the horn, schedule us a sit down. I don't have a personal relationship with Batman. What's coming, you might wish you did. Thank you for the clothes, Sister Weeks. You're welcome, Christian. I'm happy to help in any way I can. Sister, if a man does unexplicable things, does God turn away from him? God never turns away. His hope is all you need to seek his guidance and mercy, which will lead you to a better path. I've caused so much pain, not sure I can carry my guilt and shame much longer. Would you be willing to pray with me, Christian? Yes, ma'am. Lord, I was once a good man, and that was so very long ago. I'd do anything to go back, before the fire, before the hate. No, no. Christian, what's happening to you? Please don't hurt me. Crash. Scree. Of course, this we got Man Bat and of course the werewolf fighting each other, and we got Ram, whack, chomp, roar. Uh-oh. All right. All right. Yep. Yes, he did. You are correct. He did turn evil in Injustice. So yeah. So that's actually. Speaking of Injustice, then we'll go into the review. So yeah, I actually do. I'm not a big fan of the Injustice series. Again, I am not a fan of heroes being villains. Granted, yes, I know, and this is an alternate universe, Superman and stuff like that. I'm just not a overly big fan of that per se. I prefer my heroes being heroes and my villains being villains. There is rooms for like you have your characters like Constantine, Batman, that kind of skirt that line, a little bit. But I prefer, like I said, I prefer my heroes being good. Batman again. One of the reasons why I kind of give that wiggle room for Batman is because being that Batman is human, he has to deal with stuff that would literally. I mean, you think about it, if you look at the element of like Batman fighting a werewolf. If you're looking at Batman fighting, I mean, they've done like Superman and Aliens. They've done Batman and Aliens. I mean, Superman and Aliens really. I mean, he just mops them clean. So, the only way really to defeat Superman is you got to like overload him with a lot of like alien creatures and stuff like that. Whereas like if Superman's fighting a werewolf like this, he's just going to obliterate him. Which is why you need someone like Solomon Grundy to fight against Superman, because Solomon Grundy is a magical based hero. Now you could argue with a werewolf. A werewolf is technically magically based. And Superman has also interacted with the main vampire character in I, Vampire. And he's been turned into a vampire in DC versus the Vampire, but it was done through magical means because that's the only way you could actually interfere with Superman and who he is. You have to use magical elements. So you could say, I mean, again, Superman could fight against a werewolf, and could you make the argument that maybe being that it is magical based, could the werewolf's claws slice through Superman? Yeah, you could, but I just think I think a werewolf. I think the Batman werewolf crossover works a lot better, just because of who Batman is as a character. Yeah, yeah. That's the whole thing. Could you imagine? So you have, I mean, and they've toyed with the idea. You see Homelander in the boys, and really, that's who Homelander is. He really is. If Superman, had no limits. And you kind of see that in Superman versus the Elites, where when he's fighting against Manchester Black, there you see that where Superman kind of does that thing where he lets the limit go just to show like what he would do, and yeah, it's scary. Like if you really, I know it's kind of all fun and games, and we like to play with what ifs. Superheroes were real, but in all honesty, like if superheroes were actually real in our world, there would be a mass amount of destruction and death, and it would be scary, 100%. So, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm actually gonna give this. I actually really like this comic. I would actually rate it. In my opinion, I would actually rate the comic. I would give it a good 8. I think the artwork really, really works with the story. It's very visceral. Very. When you're dealing with like kind of stories like this, you need your art to be very, very. I don't want to say over the top, but very gritty and dark. And so I think it really works. I'm really interested to see where they go with this, because you're having this team up, of course, Zatanna with two love interests with Batman and Constantine and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see how Batman's going to handle, because in this universe, so the Black Label series kind of is is an almost like the Elseworld series. They're not actually in continuity. They're kind of in their own standalone stories. So I could see like a lot of things, happening here and kind of going crazy. I'm down. I'm interested to see where they go with it. And I really enjoy. I also like Man Bat. He's a great character for Batman also. So I'm definitely down to see where that goes here on that. I think I love the very dark grittiness of Batman, how he looks here. Each panel is very, very well done, and I speculate. I'm going to speculate. I don't think it's painted, but it's drawn, and then probably he's doing the coloring. Whoever's doing the coloring on it is giving that color aspect on it too. So like it is a very good overall. I think the artwork is really well done. So I'd have to give a good shout out to the story overall. So giving a shout out to Barnes. I like where he's going with it, and also Steven Subik. I really give him a shout out on that. I think he's doing a really good job. Let me see what else he's done. Steven Subik. See if he's got like anything else that I know of. Oh, he's from Serbia. He's done Conan. Okay. So he did Riddler Year One. Let's see what else he's done here. Okay, so he comes from he's done Creepshow, which is really good. He did Moriarty. He's done The Penguin. So he's got a good feel about the DC the Batman universe. And okay, so he's done some Elseworld stuff too. From okay, right. So okay, pretty good. All right, let's see here. Where let's see here. Search. And what has Barnes done? Rod Barnes. Rodney Barnes. What do you think? Oh yeah, Man-Bat is definitely one of the top 10 villains. I agree. I think he's a really good villain because what he does, in my opinion, with versus like don't get me wrong, I love Joker, Riddler, and the Penguin. The Man-Bat kind of brings that flying element. Kind of gives Bruce a different aspect. He kind of goes up into the air and stuff like that. Okay, so. All right, Rodney Barnes. He has done. He did Ahsoka, Kill Philadelphia, which is the series. Okay, so that makes sense, and that's what I know. I know Kill Philadelphia. He's also done. He was also the writer on American Gods and Runaway. So okay, all right. So fairly. I mean, not a bigger known writer, but a fairly good, and he's done. He actually has his own imprint, called Zombie Love Studios, which is kind of cool. And he's African American, so I'm digging what he's done here. Are you going to watch the Penguin series? So what I do is I actually wait for all the episodes to air, and then I go back and watch them. But yes, I do like Colin Farrell. He was actually the one bright spot I definitely liked of the Batman movie. I thought he did a really good job. So I'm really interested to see what they do with it. But I am going to be watching here once it's fully done airing. And then what we could do is we might dedicate I might dedicate an episode where we talk about that and we'll do that. I'm not sure. Have you watched anything yet there, James? So, meanwhile, what I would definitely do if you guys, in terms of, would I recommend going off this first issue? Would I recommend grabbing the limited series? Yes, 100%. It is a really good series. Start to a short series. I tend to like. I tend to like a lot of the Black Label stuff coming out because I look at the Black Label stuff as really kind of being DC's ground for playing around in a lot of series stuff. Using their characters and creating their own new stories without tying it into like the major mainstream universe. So I would definitely, if you're gonna get it, grab the single issues or grab the trade. I'm gonna definitely wait for the trade. So when stuff like this, I usually grab digitally and then I'll grab so I can read them, and then I grab the trade for collecting purposes and stuff like that. Because with floppies, unfortunately, I only have so much room. So yeah, all right. So yeah, all right. So.
In shadows deep where realms collide, both gods shall arise with nowhere to hide. Ancient powers stir once more. Feel the lightning, hear the roar. The one full fight always light. A storm unleashed, a blinding light. With thunder's core, his horse to fight. He fights till every tyrant falls. With courage, fierce and rise, rise. The gods shall face their demise. False chaos, rise, rise. The soul shall come through all their lies. False gods trembling from distant lands. His name resounds, his power stands. In myths, fierce clash, a fire bright, unleashing wrath into the night.